I know when he announced that he had gotten COVID, there were some people who I think naturally questioned, can we trust anything they're saying, including something that looks like bad news? Is it possible that this is just an attempt to distract the electorate? I mean, obviously there was the tax story. Nobody cares about that anymore, that he committed tax fraud and doesn't pay taxes apparently. This would be a distraction from that. It would be an October surprise. It could change things up. But and look, obviously he has it. So, but their attempt to use this to change the conversation, Jordan, does it seem like that would help? Like, is a hyper focus on coronavirus now in the 3 to 4 weeks we have until the election? What do you think about that? Because I know you said we've got the polls, but obviously we don't want complacency and we're not just gonna trust any poll, without being critical of it. What do you think about this turn to focusing on coronavirus as supposedly a positive thing for Donald Trump?
It wouldn't be their first mistake. It seems like a series of rash, odd decisions from this campaign. Money. Some friends that I talked about yesterday. Just the money moving out of key states and reinvestments in Florida with ad buys. It's just like, what I don't understand. Florida is supposed to be a lock for Trump. Either that is a weird decision, or they're doubling down because they really are struggling. We'll see. Forcing this debate seems to be like another odd decision because it sets him up for these types of conversations where he's going to have to justify everything he's done on this issue and even got it. Turning this into, oh, you can't even talk about it because you didn't have it, like a survivor narrative. The past 72 hours, their decisions have been really, really bizarre.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the spending because he's putting more money into Florida, which is he has to win Florida. Like it's not, oh, if he gets Florida, he's good like Bush in 2000. No, he has to win it and then do other things. So he's putting money into Florida. Trump is off the air in Ohio and Iowa, which could mean that he has internal polling that shows that it's so a win for him that he doesn't need it. But that's not what I'm seeing. That seems like surrender. And so think about, let's just talk about 2 states. He's putting money into Florida. Biden is putting money into Texas. It doesn't seem like, I know, don't get complacent and remember, it's feeling like this election's probably not gonna come down to the votes anyway. But I don't know, and I will say, like, if I was Trump, I would want to be talking about literally anything other than the pandemic as a potential third wave starts to ramp up. Him, like we already know from all the polling, people think he got it because he was irresponsible. Like maybe there will be some sympathy anyway, but it's not like we feel so bad that he got it despite his best efforts. So now we're more, like we're on his side. That's not happening. More and more people are dying. How could this possibly be a good turn for them? They need to be talking about the economy or whatever. And even then it would just be the stock market. It wouldn't be reflective of actual people's lives, but that would be something at least. But COVID, why would that be the thing? Why would that be the thing?
Yeah,
anyway, no, continue.
I feel like they just wasted an opportunity to like garner sympathy. In that immediate moment with his diagnosis and going to the hospital, you saw almost a bipartisan consensus, like, oh, we need to be respectful and mindful. You saw people who deeply detest this guy, and various MSNBC hosts and personalities who don't like him, going out of their way to express their sympathy for him. Various Democratic elected officials, same thing. And then like 48 hours later, he rushes out of the hospital and takes off his mask. Could have milked that for like 4 or 5 days and created this kind of rally around the president effect that we see in polls during times of national tragedy or mourning. Like that could have been, a strategy, but instead it's, hey, I'm going back out there, I'm doubling down, I'm taking off my mask. You're not tough enough if this killed you. Like, yeah. I'll never understand. I will never understand this.
So it's like, has there ever been a clear example of insult to injury from the president? So I didn't give a damn if your relatives or friends died. So hundreds of thousands of them have. And now I'm going to imply that they did it because they just didn't have the right stuff. Okay. A lot of people know someone who died from COVID. I can't imagine anyone liked Trump's comment there.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.